Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. Although we are therapists, this podcast is not therapy and does not replace working with your own therapist. Everything shared here is for general education and conversation only.
Welcome to Two Anxious Girls. I am Dabi,
And I'm Christina.
and we are two therapists who spend 40 hours a week helping people navigate their lives and the other 128 hours wondering if we are doing ours completely wrong.
Yep. Can I just say, Dabi, today's episode is extremely personal for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. Yeah, anxiety versus intuition, or as we like to call it, is it my gut or my nervous system just being dramatic?
Yeah. Seriously, though.
Oh my gosh, don't we relate to that a little too much?
Seriously. Let's dive into the spiraling.
Yes, let's dive in. So, the spiraling. Why this is so confusing. Everyone says, trust your gut. I mean, I say it too all the time, just trust your gut. But what if your gut has anxiety?
Is that a question to answer? Because I don't know. I don't know if there's an answer. But I do know that anxiety also lives in our body, right? When we have the racing heart, the tight chest, the butterfly feeling, the restlessness, that's all anxiety living in our body.
Absolutely. And intuition, on the other hand, it feels like a body signal. So, how are you supposed to tell the difference? I
Mhm.
would say anxiety is loud, intuition is usually quiet.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So, what intuition actually feels like, let's get into that. Intuition tends to feel kind of what you were saying. It's calm, but firm at the same time, clear, even if it's inconvenient, repetitive, but not frantic, and it feels more grounded than anxiety. So it doesn't usually argue with us.
mm, yes, that's a good way to describe it. And it's also not trying to convince you. It is more like this is not right. And then it just waits. Intuition does not spiral. Anxiety spirals.
Yeah. And what anxiety actually feels like. Let's make sure we make that clear.
Yeah, we do want to differentiate the two. Anxiety, we know very well how that feels.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, so in this case, anxiety, it feels urgent, like it usually
Mhm.
does. Like something must be decided right now at this moment.
Yeah, it's not quiet. It is very
Mhm,
loud. It repeats
mhm.
the worst case scenarios and it wants certainty.
And it disguises itself as intuition. It says, no, this is a bad vibe. We must get out of here immediately. When really, it might just be fear of discomfort. I would say that anxiety demands action, intuition allows space.
Mhm.
So that's a good way to differentiate the two.
Yeah.
So,
And oftentimes, sorry,
mhm.
oftentimes anxiety hijacks our gut feelings.
Ah, yes. And if you have experienced trauma or betrayal or instability, your nervous system may flag normal uncertainty as danger, unfortunately.
Yeah. So then every new relationship might feel suspicious. Every job change feels catastrophic. Every boundary feels like you're about to be abandoned. And I think it's safe to say this is probably what we focus most on with our clients, trying to differentiate the two. But I know for me, I feel this too. I've definitely experienced this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. An anxious brain, it's constantly scanning for threats, and your body doesn't feel safe. So it can mistake something new or unfamiliar as unsafe just because it doesn't know it.
Right. Also, growth probably feels like anxiety at first, and that's pretty inconvenient.
Oh, and don't we all relate to that? Every
Yeah.
single time I have to make a major life transition,
Mhm.
I feel so anxious. I am a huge ball of anxiety. Even right now, I can get into details, but yes, I'm too anxious about the future that's not here yet. And I'm like, Dabby, just calm down.
Yeah, but it's
Just
easier
talking
said
to
than
myself.
done.
Absolutely. And that's where we fall for the overanalyzing trap. Anxious people don't just feel, We investigate. We go into these spirals of trying to find out absolutely everything so that we can make the most informed decision. But yeah, no, we're just causing ourselves more anxiety.
Yes, Davi, we make pros and con lists. We consult 5 friends. I'm thinking of the 5 friends in my head, and you are one of them. They're big decisions. Sometimes I feel like I can't make decisions. Yes, I'm an adult, but I still need help with that. Or we Google, or we check Reddit, or we replay our conversations.
Christina, Reddit. And this is not an ad. Reddit is my best friend. All of my
Uh-huh.
biggest life decisions have been supported by Reddit.
Mhm.
And
I
then we
believe
ask
you.
ourselves, yeah, then we ask ourselves why we don't trust ourselves.
Yeah, and the answer is because we outsourced our inner voice.
Yeah. And all jokes aside, overanalyzing can actually hide and or cover our intuition. And sometimes the clearest signal comes when you just stop interrogating it. And I love that because there's so much truth there.
Yeah. I feel like that probably brings us to our therapy insights, questions to ask ourselves. So, if you're unsure whether it's anxiety or or intuition, try asking yourself, is this feeling urgent or catastrophic? Likely it's anxiety.
Mhm,
Or you can ask yourself, does this feel calm but steady? That's probably intuition. You can ask yourself, am I reacting to something happening now or something that might happen? And
mhm.
lastly, try asking yourself, if I imagine making the opposite choice, do I feel panic or clarity?
Yes. Also, intuition tends to be specific.
Mm.
Anxiety is vague and dramatic. It's very vague, it's very dramatic.
Yeah. Intuition could be saying to yourself that comment felt off compared to anxiety, which is this relationship is doomed.
I love that. That's a great example. How we take it
Yeah.
from one extreme to another.
Seriously.
But all jokes aside, there is an important nuance that we are to discuss. As you know, my favorite phrase is two things can be true at the same time. Two things can be felt at once. And with that, here is the complicated part. Anxiety and intuition can coexist.
Mhm. So you can be anxious about something, excuse me, and still know what's right.
You can still be calm about something and still know it's wrong.
Yeah. So I think our goal, like most episodes, the goal isn't to eliminate anxiety before making decisions, it's to learn our patterns.
Yeah. If your anxiety always says, do not take the risk, and you take it anyway and see the growth, that is data that you are collecting. And I love that because that's what we are to do. We are to feel anxious and to do it anyway and not allow anxiety to get in the way of our functionality.
Because some anxiety is normal, right? I think
Oh my
we have
gosh,
to
yes, anxiety
recognize
is
that
normal.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. When it gets in the way of functionality, it's when it's no longer normal. But with that, our therapist's confessions. What's yours
A
today?
personal, yes, personal example. I thought my intuition was actually telling me to not send an email about just a different, job endeavor type of things. And in reality, it wasn't my intuition. It was just the fear of being perceived. So honestly, Debbie, it was a mixture of imposter syndrome because I thought, okay, I'm not good enough for this. And I
Mm,
also thought it was my intuition telling me not to send the email.
I would say that mine is this, the podcast.
True. That's so
Yeah,
true.
it's not a red flag, it's just anxiety, and we keep showing up anyway.
We do. I'm proud of us.
I am very proud of us. And that takes us to reframe.
Mhm.
Um, trust is built, is not found.
Yeah.
So trusting yourself is not always about getting it right. It is about being able to handle it if you are wrong.
That's deep. Self trust grows when we can make a decision, feel anxious, survive it, and learn from it.
Yeah. And the goal is not perfect clarity. It is resilience and continuing to show up and challenging those feelings. That's what we want to do. And that is the goal. We feel anxious and we show up and we do it anyway.
Yeah. So that could probably be our homework for this week. This week, how about we notice one decision that we're overanalyzing and
Yes,
ask? First, pause and then ask, is this fear or is this wisdom?
I love that. And instead of asking, what if this goes wrong? Try asking yourself, what if it goes right? And if it doesn't, can I survive it? And
Mhm.
with that, we will transition into our guilty pleasures of the week.
Our
Christina,
favorite.
what was your anxiety win and what was your guilty pleasure of this past week?
My anxiety win was, I think, sending that email, what I was just talking about. I sent the email and I didn't let anxiety get the best of me. That was my win. And I'm proud of myself for doing it. My guilty pleasure has to be, I know I talk about tell me lies again. I should make a podcast on tell me lies and postpartum. But
That's a great idea. And postpartum, interesting link there. I would love to unpack that. Can
yeah,
I be
we
your
should.
co-host?
Yeah, we should. I started watching Tell Me Lies from the first season. Although I've watched it, I've watched all 3 seasons. My guilty pleasure was rewatching the first season, and it was fun, and I learned a lot, and I probably will watch season 2 again.
That is hilarious.
What about you? Tell me your
Well,
wins and your guilty pleasures.
my wins this past week was finally addressing a couple of things that I was putting on the back burner just because I didn't want to deal with the anxiety that it causes me. I got it done. I'm proud of
Oh,
myself.
nice. That's awesome.
And yeah. And guilty pleasures. Well, since we're talking about shows, I would say that I am into Bridgerton. I did watch season 1. It was in 2020 when the world was shut down. So I did watch season 1 like 2, 3 times. Like it was awesome. And then I just jumped into the current season now, season 4. But what I did this past weekend was go back to season 2. Yeah, season 2. And I saw a couple of episodes of season 2. So that was a nice
Nice.
guilty pleasure. And like
Nice.
always, I ate some chocolate and woke up with a pimple.
What else is new, Dubby?
I know. I'm in my 30s and I have adult acne. Like, isn't that great?
Don't we all?
Yeah,
Anyway,
with that, should we start wrapping it up?
yes. So to recap, if you struggle to tell the difference between anxiety and intuition,
You are not alone,
yeah, you're not broken, you're not alone, you probably just have a very active nervous system.
and that system learned its job well.
Yes, and now what we do is we gently retrain it.
Yes. And with that, don't forget to breathe. Sometimes we just need to take a deep breath. And with that, guys, we are Dobby and Christina. Thank you so much for listening. That was our episode for today. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye bye.